What is up, everybody? It's your boy Duty back again with another video, and this time we're taking a look at our boy DSP's financial data for the work week. And a quick spoiler alert, it looks like our boy Phil bounced back from the previous week's abysmal financial data. It looks like he did all right. Big ups to OIC. OIC came in full force, and I guess he finally heard the whale call and has accepted that he is the #1 debt. Now that OneMinMan is gone, OIC now has Phil all to himself, and he has no competition whatsoever. So it looks like Phil didn't have any ham sandwiches this week. It looks like he was living pretty fat, and multiple DoorDashes came for Phil. And I'm expecting WWE champions to pop off. And I know some folks have DM'd me about WWE champions. The last time Phil played was about a week and a half ago, and he was playing multiple different games, so it was difficult for TJ Gamebox to report out what he actually spent. My guess, it's anywhere between 1,000 to 1,500, but again, since TJ isn't reporting it out, I don't feel comfortable posting that. But we'll put an asterisk in the spreadsheet, and we'll make a notation that Phil did whale out, and we can provide kind of estimates, and that way we'll be fair to everyone, and you can't say Duty's posting erroneous information. So let's get into the financial data, and let's see how Phil actually did. So for the work week, it looks like our boy Phil bounced back with $975, and it looks like no chargebacks occurred. So big ups to Phil for not getting any chargebacks, unless he got some and didn't tell anyone. Like I reported out, very similar to the Argentinian detractors, it looks like the chargeback detractors are lurking. And from what I hear, they're probably going to be striking every so often. And again, your boy Duty isn't involved in any of that nonsense. I am just a purveyor of news. Occasionally I get DMs, emails from people where they provide me some information. And these sources are pretty credible. And I just report the news out. So don't ever say Duty's running ops. He isn't. I'm just a purveyor of news. So it looks like Phil made $975 compared to last week where he made $478. He actually made $728, but the chargebacks really kicked his ass. So, he made $478. So that's a pretty significant increase over, we're talking about $500. For Super Chats for that same period, it looks like Phil made $441. Which again was an increase from the previous week of $361. I've said this all year and last year, the Super Chats have just been terrible for Phil. And that's kind of what's killing him. On top of the memberships just dying on him. And except for his 200 or so dents that auto-renew every month, Phil's not getting any new members. No one's gifting memberships, and if they are, they're gifting 1 or 2 members. Little Gremlin, or whatever the hell his name is. That seems to be it. But the gravy train for memberships is done. That's completely done. And very similar to the chargeback detractors, the Argentinian detractors do drop me notes from time to time, and they're not gone. They're just kind of chilling and waiting. And from what I gather, they're probably going to strike sometime soon. So it looks like these folks, and it's all right. I'll give you some. It's about 4 of them. It's 4 guys that I don't know who they are, but they drop me notifications every so often. And it looks like what the goal for them is that every month, during around the same time period where most of the memberships are going to be elapsing, they're going to kind of come in and bombard the channel with more memberships. So it is what it is. I don't know what Phil can do. The only thing he can probably do is shut off gifted memberships or encourage his dents to auto renew. That's all Phil can do. If he doesn't do that, then he's going to be stuck with 200 to 300 members a month, and that's it. There's going to be zero growth in that channel. So he's going to have to rely more on tips and Super Chats. And then with tips, you got the chargeback detractors hitting them there too. So the only thing Phil can really do is harp on Super Chats. Now, I talked about this last week. I don't do tips. I don't offer a tip link because that's just a recipe for, problems. And I really don't care if people super chat me or whatever. If they do, fine. I appreciate it, but it's not mandatory. Your boy Duty makes some money off of ad revenue, and I'm content with that. But if I do get a super chat, I don't have to worry about chargebacks or any of that nonsense. Like I stated last week, YouTube is the mafia. YouTube is Michael Corleone, and I'm an Italian man in New York, in Little Sicily, with a bakery shop or a restaurant or whatever, a sandwich shop. There you go, Phil loves sandwich shops. And I pay the mafia to protect me. So when someone super chats me, they can't charge it back. I pay YouTube a 30% cut of everything I make in super chats to protect me. Protection money, essentially. So that's the only avenue Phil has. He may want to start harping more on donating super chats. And I think that'll be good for him because it'll be a way to control his spending habits. He won't have that tip money available every single day for him to withdraw. And he won't have as much liquidity available to spend on WWE Champions. It's almost like he's forcing himself to not play WWE Champions. And I think, honestly, Phil's probably tried that in the past, and he's failed. And, you know, again, it'll make him more accountable to his wife if she gives a shit. But I'm pretty sure she doesn't. She's probably the one, you know, complaining about wanting DoorDash every day, and then Phil has to cash out his PayPal money, his tips, to get her DoorDash every day. That's probably the dynamic there. But again, you know, paying that 30% cut to YouTube protects Phil, and it sort of forces him to save. He doesn't have that money until the 21st of every month. So he may have to go that route of maybe not harping on tips and harping on super chats. Maybe offer rewards. Maybe Gunner glasses, or maybe that stupid necktie for super chats. He should do that. Okay. So for the totals, Phil received $1,416, which was an increase from the previous week, which was $839. So a pretty big bump for our boy Phil. He did all right. He did all right. So I'm pretty sure he's not starving this week. It is the 10th. So I'm guessing the two big bills did come up, and Phil was complaining that he had to register his car, and of course that was going to cost him hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So you know, maybe he had enough for 2 orders of DoorDash on his day off. So yeah. So I mean, he did bounce back. So good for Phil. Good for Phil. Let's see how he does in the middle of May. And let's not forget, this is the beginning of the month. And usually with the beginning of the month, Phil does see an increase in tips because many of the dents do receive their disability checks. So big ups to the U.S. taxpayer for funding DSP Gaming Enterprises. So far for the total for May, Phil's made $1,626, which, you know, puts him on par with the previous months. And so far the totals for this year is $24,145. That's tips and super chats. Please remember, these are tips and super chats for his 3 channels, and these are gross numbers. I do not deduct PayPal fees. I do not deduct taxes or YouTube percentages. No, this is just gross numbers. And the reason why I do that is because when people ask you, how much do you make? You always give them the gross number. You never give them your net pay. You say you make $50,000 a year or whatever the case is. So taxes, fees, all that crap, it's part of doing business in the United States. And I don't give Phil credit because he has to pay fees or whatever. If someone's giving him money, a super chat or a tip or whatever, or whatever he's getting, I count that as revenue. Alrighty. So we don't have the monthly figures yet. That'll be available at the end of the month. So let's look at year over year. So for 2024 so far, Phil's managed to make $18,214 compared to last year where he made $18,591. So he's getting close, folks. He's getting close on the tips, on the tip total for 2023. Where he gets slaughtered is super chats. So for super chats for 2023, Phil's made $5,931 compared to $7,881 last year. So grand total for 2024 so far is $24,145. And last year, Phil made $26,301 for that same time period, for a net decrease of 9%. He's not getting off this 9%, folks. Even when he's having good weeks, he's still not getting off that 9%. And again, May, June, July, what real games are there? So, yeah, I mean, 1 minute, he better hope OneMinMan gives back. Or OIC, you know, becomes super whale and starts donating on the daily, on the regular. Okay. So for 2024, like I said, Phil made $24,145. And back in 22, Phil made $35,868 for that same time period, for a net decrease of negative 33%. You could see, man, that's rough. When you lose a third of your income in less than 2 years, that's difficult. That's difficult to bounce back, especially someone who doesn't diversify his income. He refuses to do anything different. He just wants to do lazy content like throwback. Throwback is so stupid. I think I'll give Phil this. I think Phil is correct where if he did DSP politics, he would see an initial bump. He would. I think he really would. The problem with that, of course, is that after a couple months, no one will really care, and what he will have is a whole bunch of people hating him for these shitty takes. So then he'll have more eyes on him, more casuals, more casual people that really don't know who DSP is will get wind of his opinions, and they'll see who the man is. They'll do a little bit more digging and research, and of course they'll see Duty's channel and they'll see how despicable this person is, and they'll just grow to hate him. So he'll end up getting more haters and detractors, but he will get an initial bump in money. I mean, politics, if you create a channel and you hold the position either left or right wing, you can make some serious cash. I mean, look at the quartering. Look at Tom. What's his name? Oh, I forgot his name. The one guy who's kind of a righty, a libertarian. Tony. No. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, but you know what I'm talking about. You know when you're on that side of the spectrum, different sides, the right or the left, you can make some serious cash. You can make some serious coin. But of course, Phil, like I posted yesterday, is scared of that because he already lost one whale. He lost OneMinMan. And Phil, for the most part, it tends to be more on the right. His views are more rightish. And I'm pretty sure that will upset his views on certain things will upset a lot of dents. Especially I can see OIC, because from what I gather, it looks like OIC might be a progressive, liberal, leftist. And when Phil comes in and gives a stupid take, I can see him pissing off his biggest whale, OIC. And if he loses OIC, folks, it's over. It is over, folks, because with OIC being gone, you're talking about Lisa Lou being gone. You're talking about Lady Charisma being gone. You're talking about OIC himself being gone. What else? The various socks. There's that new sock, Jordan. By the way, there is a new, this week, it started off slow, but all of a sudden, magically, a new sock account appeared. It was a new account. It was really weird. It seemed really amazing now. All of a sudden, after a slow week, this person popped up. And we know who it is. We're pretty sure who it is. This Jordan fellow, and then there was someone else who popped in. Oh, Katsu came in. I think I'm not sure if it's been confirmed or not, if that is OIC or not. But, you know, OIC, he's pushing on like 10 various personalities in the DSP vortex. And I don't know. He feels the need, instead of just supporting himself and just being the dent that he is and accepting the accolades for being Phil's whale, he needs to diversify his shit with multiple sock accounts to make it seem like Phil has just grand support, which he just fucking doesn't. He doesn't. He has a bunch of LARPers that tip him $1 to fucking troll him, and then he has maybe 10 super dents, you know, like your Kevin Styles, your Jade, your Derek. You know, even Canadian Kirk is gone. Where the fuck's Canadian Kirk? Where's Super Blind Man? These dudes just rolled out. Where's Snow Carl? They just bounced. They don't want to deal with this idiot. They just moved the fuck on to somebody else. So anyway, yeah. But like I said, I think if he did decide to do DSP politics, he would see an initial bump in income and views and so on. But of course, with Phil and his idiotic takes and his just obnoxious, he's an obnoxious person. He's the type of person that you just meet him, and after about 10 minutes, you dislike him for some reason. Even if he didn't say anything bad, you just dislike him because of his mannerisms, his tone. It's very grating. He has a very grating personality. And if he went ahead and did this, he would just kill his channel. So either way, I support either way. I support it either way. So anyway, that's the numbers, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace out.